There's a live-action show that airs every weekend in Japan about a team of superheroes that transform into colored spandex and fight rubber suit monsters. In the West, it's more commonly known as the Power Rangers franchise, starting with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in 1993. Its history, however, goes back much farther than the famous kids show of the early 90s. In Japan, every season has a different name, but it always retains the moniker of Super Sentai. The original incarnation of the franchise, Himitsu Sentai Go Ranger, predates the release of the first Power Rangers season by nearly 2 decades. It was created in the same vein as other tokusatsu shows such as Ultraman, Kikaider, Inazuman, and Kamen Rider. The first show in the franchise was created by the late Shotaro Ishinomori, after one of his earlier creations, Kamen Rider, popularized the concept of superheroes that transform utilizing cool poses. Ishinomori was mentored by the famed godfather of manga, Osamu Tezuka, and you can see his influence on Ishinomori's art style in his most popular manga, Cyborg 009, which is considered the first superhero team in Japanese media. Older viewers who are Nintendo fans may recognize his name from the Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past comic, published in Nintendo Power in the early 90s. Super Sentai continued Ishinomori's concept of transforming superheroes, but instead of focusing on a single central character, like in Kamen Rider or Kikaider, focused on the internal dynamic and adventures of a team of superheroes, taking cues from his Cyborg 009 manga. While the Red Ranger traditionally gets top billing, certain episodes focus on different members of the team to flesh out their characters and personalities so that they aren't just flat cardboard cutouts. This can often extend to the supporting cast who never actually take part in active battle. Super Sentai attracts a much wider audience from its use of characters of varying ages, genders, sometimes even ethnicities, despite Japan being a generally homogeneous society. By the same token, every character and subsequently every team has a different personality and team dynamic, from the military structured team of Go Ranger to the childhood friends of Tokyuger to the lord and vassals of Shinkenger. Every team has a unique dynamic and a different collection of personalities that help to highlight the ways the characters interact with each other and how the team dynamic is formed. It's no coincidence that seasons where characters are boring or worse have little chemistry with each other are largely considered the worst seasons. This variety in team structures, individual personalities, and interpersonal dynamics within each season is part of why Super Sentai has such a strong following. Even among Red Rangers, Super Sentai has a large variety of personalities, from goofy to stoic to rebellious, and each one plays off of his teammates differently. One team that may have the Red and Blue Rangers who are standoffish, while another may have a Blue Ranger that's thoroughly dedicated and loyal to his Red. No two fans have the same opinion on which season is their favorite, or for what reason. It wouldn't be a stretch to say that the characters and plot are vital to the quality of Super Sentai. Of course, that's not the only thing the show offers. There are cool-looking weapons, giant robots, special effects, interesting fashion, good-looking guys, good-looking girls, nice-looking suits, rubber suit monsters, and giant explosions, just to name a few. In this video series, I will provide an overview of each Super Sentai season. Now, don't get the wrong idea, I'm not going to assign every season a number score or anything like that. Many of these seasons are a product of their time, and assigning them a number score wouldn't do them justice. On top of that, taste as always is subjective, and everybody has a different measure on what constitutes a good Super Sentai season. There are some seasons that I personally can't stand that other people will defend up and down. In each video, I'm going to try to summarize the story of the season, describe the characters, explain what it does well, what works, what doesn't work, comment on the design sensibilities of the costumes, props, and monsters, and ultimately if it's worth your time. Super Sentai has come a long way since its initial incarnation in the 70s, not just in terms of visual effects and suit designs, but also in terms of storytelling and writing. What worked in 1975 may not have worked in 1995, and definitely would not work in 2015. And Super Sentai has grown and evolved with the times. In many ways, it has had to modernize and update itself to keep up with the sensibilities of its contemporaries. The suits have grown complex, design-wise, the characters skew younger and are more fashionable to appeal to a broader demographic, and they make greater use of gadgets or sci-fi weaponry than they do real-life weapons. The series has gone through many rough patches, having brushes with cancellation numerous times, as well as being cancelled at least once. But we'll get into all those aspects eventually. For now, we should start at the beginning with the show that started it all, Himitsu Sentai Go Ranger. If you like what I'm doing with my channel, please hit that like button. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. The Super Sentai Overview is a production by the fans for the fans. And of course, we appreciate the support of any and all of our viewers. Please look forward to the content I'll be putting on this channel in the future. And I'll see you next time. Abayo!